name's Jacob Shufflebarger. I was a sergeant in the Indiana Army National Guard over in Rensselaer. I served overseas with Bravo Company to the 151st Infantry out of Logansport. They were a company out of our main brigade out of South Bend, the 219th Battlefield Surveillance Brigade. That's a mouthful. So we were out of there. Went overseas. We had a police mission. Even though we were infantry, we had to go over there and train the Afghan National Police from 2009 to 2010. I held a couple different jobs in the military. My primary was a 13 Fox. I was a forward observer, basically like a scout going out and behind enemy lines, finding their positions, calling in for gunships. You could do naval artillery, which we never got to do. Mortars, things like that. I had a secondary MOS of infantry, 11 Bravo, and then I had a third of 11 Charlie, which was a mortarman. So we were kind of cross-trained. National Guard, they'll train you what they need you to be at that point. Served just the 6 years. I did it for the college benefits. I do not have a single drop of debt for the college. I had a bachelor's degree, associate's degree paid for, a technical certificate paid for, all through the military. They do one for everything until you run out of your GI Bill benefits. I did graduate from here in 2005, and I joined in 2006. So I went to college for a semester and decided I don't want my parents to pay for college, so that's why I joined in at that point, and they paid for everything that military did. It's definitely a good experience for anybody. I always recommend the National Guard before going to active because it's like trying on a pair of shoes. Is what my recruiter told me is try them on, see if you like it. After that, you can go full time. I don't know what else. Anything specific wise?
So you said you had 3 different MOSs. Mm-hmm. Do you use any of that MOS training in your current job?
Well, not my current job. I used to be a police officer for the county, so I use some of those firearm skills. I guess the best way to look at it. When I worked as a police officer there for a little bit, I still work for the county. Just now, they're maintenance director for there. But honestly, no, not at this point. Kind of looking back, I wish I would have did an MOS that had a little bit more civilian skills after the word, but after watching the movie Black Hawk Down, saying I want to do what those guys are doing, jumping out of the helicopters and all that, so that's why I went infantry, because that was their job title.
What things from your military training do you use on a regular basis?
I'm very organized, disciplined, very motivated to do things. I like to get things done in a timely manner. I've used my leadership skills to help lead my current job as maintenance director for the county with my guys and gals underneath me. That's about it for that, I think.
So for a lot of our students, they're in a similar boat to you were, coming out of high school, thinking about college. What do you say to a kid who's maybe on the fence, who is thinking about it but doesn't know if it's quite for them? I mean, you already kind of said some stuff about getting your toes wet, you know?
So back when I was in high school, we were pushed. You got to get your bachelor's degree out of high school. That was the thing they pushed. They didn't push the trades as much. So, and the military does offer that. As a National Guard, you can do Air Force National Guard, you have Air National Guard, you have reserves, your Army, Marines, which are all a part-time commitment, 1 week a month, a couple weeks in the summertime, give or take. So that's a way to get your feet wet, serve your country. There is a chance you get deployed. That's part of the contract. It's an experience you'll never forget. I mean, for that. But they hold their end. They pay your college. They give you a monthly stipend to live on. Plus, you're getting a paycheck from them as well as a part-time job. But if you have pretty much any civilian skill, they have it in the military. If you want to be an HVAC person, a plumber, accountant, office worker, IT is a huge thing right now. You can do both. You can go to school, go to college, get your IT degree, and still be in the military and be like a cybersecurity specialist and get the best of both worlds at that point. Plus, once you're done with your military contract, you'll get your certain security clearances, which some of the bigger employers want you to have a secret or top secret type of thing. So you get the best of both worlds doing that. But it is a little scary at first, it's a change of pace. People are yelling at you, but that's just basic training after basic training. It's easy from there.
We're doing this as part of our Veterans Day typical ceremony. So I have a couple questions about that for you. The first one is, what does Veterans Day mean to you?
So Veterans Day for us is just a day to, I guess, thank the veterans or something of that nature in a sense, not to, I don't know how to put it the better way, but it's a day for all the veterans that are currently active or serving. I guess it's their day of appreciation. Kind of confused with Memorial Day. Memorial Day is for the fallen heroes of the military service. That's what that day is for, and sometimes those 2 days get mixed and matched. So Memorial Day is for the fallen, and veterans for the current active and reserve or veterans and things like that.
Speaking to our students and community members, what do you want them to know about service or about Veterans Day?
If you want to thank a vet, that's awesome. We appreciate it. A lot of us will probably just kind of get a little shy about it, like, oh, hey, no problem, type of thing. Always catches kind of off guard a little bit because you don't know what to really say at that point. But we do greatly appreciate it. But yeah, it's definitely we definitely enjoy it. It's something to look back to all our buddies with, reconnect with on Facebook, and see all of our guys we served with overseas or in their units here on stateside. So it's definitely a good thing. Just kind of brings back the memories, all the good ones and stuff like that.
Yeah. In terms of going overseas and your experience, what was your daily experience like when you were over in Afghanistan?
So over there, we were not in a huge base by any means. There was only 100 of us probably at any given time. We were stationed with some active duty guys. I lived in a wooden shed with a tin roof for almost the entire time I was there. We take a lot of things for granted back here: running water, showers, a nice bed to sleep in, things like that. I'm not a big fan of camping anymore because of that. So if anyone's going camping, that is not my thing. I'm going to a hotel room because I want a bed to sleep in, and air conditioning, and water, all that kind of stuff. But overseas, it was definitely an experience. Kind of opened your eyes to how the other parts of the world live, because Afghanistan is like a third world country where we're at. They didn't have running water necessarily. They didn't have a power grid, so they didn't have reliable power, no roads, just the little things. Back, living in Kentland, I go out and do my little runs around town, doing my exercising. You can't do that over in Afghanistan without the fear of, getting shot, at least over there. It's much safer here than something like that over there.
Had you been out of the area before you joined the military? We get some of our interviews we've had, they had not had any extensive travel or anything like that. So their first travel was basic training or anything like that.
I was fortunate enough, we've been, parents took us on vacation, things like that, so we've been around, but as far as like living long-term away, yeah, for the 3 months basic training lasted with the AIT on there, it's definitely experience where we stayed in the city. I was in Fort Benning, Georgia for my training. I think that's close to Columbus, so that's kind of a city environment there. That right there determined I want to come back to being a small town. I don't like the cities. I like the easy going, not the fast pace. So ever since then I was like, I will always stay in a small town at that point.
Gotcha. Newton County's got a very rich history of veterans serving from as far back as you can document. What does it mean for you to be a part of that?
It's definitely an honor to get further involved with it. I belong to the Legion Post 23 in Kentland. I'm their secretary treasurer, so I take care of all their books for them and all that. I'm part of their honor guard, so when some of the older veterans have passed away, we go out, do our 21 gun salute for them at their graveside services. Then on Memorial Day, we go to all the cemeteries, at least all the southern end ones for us, Goodland, a bunch of the ones in Kentland. We do a little service for them at all the gravesides, whether people show up or not. We're still doing the 21 gun salute for them and that kind of stuff, putting little markers on their graves, the flags to mark them. So it's definitely nice to, you know all the veterans around here too, so it's nice to know who it is, and you're honoring them when they pass away and stuff like that.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about? We're good with anything, or nothing. Like I said, it's just a chance for you to talk about anything you want to. So,
I guess if you're on the fence of joining, I would say talk to a recruiter. The worst, you can always tell them no. They might be a little pushy, because they got to get their numbers in. But just to get the pamphlets, and I know a lot of parents were scared. My parents were terrified when I joined. My recruiter actually knew my stepmom through selling cars. And when I told him I was joining the infantry, he called and said, hey, Jake is joining this. Are you sure that he wants to do this? Make sure he knows what he's getting into. So I had a really good recruiter. The college benefits were phenomenal. You can always be an officer too after you get your degree. You could go through being the National Guard, get your 4-year degree, and then go to officer training school and be an officer in the military as the lieutenant, captain, major, and so on. And I always thought about doing that, but I served my 6 years. My goal was to hit E5 before 6 years, and then get my college paid for. And I did all that within about 3 years of being out of my 6-year contract. So I met my goals. That's what I wanted to do, and then the benefits were tremendous after that.
I think I know the answer from talking with you here, but is it a decision you'd make again?
Oh, definitely. I might pick a different job. I mean, I loved everything I did, but as far as going to the civilian world and some cross-transferring skills, I might have done things just a hair bit different, but then it would take all the experiences I had, taking some of the grand stuff we did overseas. But I'm probably 99% sure, unless it was one little job tweak I might have done differently.